that will scale, that will see in a scaling business. Number one element you will see in a scaling business is what? Can we read it together, everybody? If you are here, you can read it with me. 1, 2, 3, go. Everybody. Number one element. Everybody, 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 everybody. I want us to read it together. Don't be quiet. Open your mic and read it with me. 1, 2, 3, go.
Right business. You can never scale the wrong solution.
Thank you very much. If you are here, read it together. Let me say this. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to be
business model.
Let me say this. Okay,
Right
okay.
business model.
One more time.
Right
You
business
One more time.
model.
Solution.
All right. Thank you. The right business model. You can never say the wrong solution. Business model is how your business is set up to generate income. The logic of your revenue generation in this way, price that this generates money. That's what it is. So a business model is different from product, it's different from solution. So all of us can be selling advertising, but in using different models to sell advertising. So my model can be, all media companies sell advertising. Digital billboards sell advertising, but they sell per seconds view of advertising. So when they give your adverts some impression, show it for a number of seconds, they charge you for it. Meanwhile, the business model of other billboards that are static is you just pay for that space for a particular number of days, month. That's their model. The other one, they sell per exposure, per seconds of exposure. That's what they sell. Another media company is Facebook, or Instagram. They sell your reach, how much persons you're able to reach. That's what they sell. They show you that you've been able to reach this, or they say, oh, pay for conversion in terms of lead generation. If you generate leads, pay to us. All of these models are different. The business model is the logic of your business. If you are going to scale, you must look at the logic of your business. If the logic of your business does not make sense, or if the logic of your business is contrary to customer expectation, if your business is selling, I sat with a gentleman in the course of this holiday, and we're reviewing the model of his business. He's got very fantastic idea to put, to celebrate, to celebrate some kinds of senior citizens. And his idea was for them to pay directly. And we began to look at the way he wanted to make money, is monetization. And I said, no, fantastic idea, but this is not the correct way to make money from this idea. Right? So the logic of your business, you can never scale the wrong solution. You cannot double down on the wrong solution. You probably will get a 10% here, a 2% here, 5% here, once you are doing the wrong kind of solution. So one of your goals, if you're a leader here, going into 2025, is to look at the model that you run in generating revenue. Is this something that can scale? You have now run the business for 3 years, for 4 years. If it has only grown by 3%, 10%, 40%, it's time to look at how exactly you are delivering the value that you are delivering. You may need to change the model, right? So that's number one. Somebody say number one. Somebody say number one.
Number one.
Number two. Ladies and gentlemen, number two.
Number one.
Please invite your friends that need to be here. This thing is going to be very short. I'm almost halfway done. Number two.
Data sense.
Data sense. Can we say it together, everybody?
Data sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's difficult to scale any business without understanding the data. And the question is, what are the most important metrics in your business? Many people cannot answer me when I ask them, what's been the patronage of customers to your business this year? They can't answer me. Many people cannot answer me when I ask them, what is the number of customers that have come back from last year in this year? They can't answer those questions. If you don't understand the metrics of your business, you can't even scale it. For one of the people that, and I suspect that she may be on this call, for one of the people that have paid, for Africa Revenue Summit, I was having a one-on-one strategy session with her 2 weeks ago. And interestingly, this was a business that was already doing over 4 billion per annum. So not a small business. As I was engaging the CEO, she told me, I asked, how many of the customers that bought last year have come back this year? Unfortunately, she couldn't tell me. Okay, how many of the customers that bought from you this year only came once and never returned the second time? Unfortunately, she could not tell me.
That makes sense.
Now, if you do not make sense of your data, if you do not, and there is no way you can make sense of your data if you're not intentionally aggregating the data. And I'll tell you, 90% of businesses are in this case, they do not have a structured way of making sense of their data. If you are in that class, repent. Say repent.
So I repent.
I repent.
If you're in that class, repent, because there is no way you can grow something that you do not understand the data. How many people came this year? I was having a strategy session preparing for 2024 with a company in Abuja, and I suspect that the MD may be on this call. I'm not sure though, And the question we're asking is, out of all the, the company runs an hospital, they run a clinic, I mean, a lab, and a diagnostic center, and what was it called? An analytical lab. So about 4 businesses in one, an equipment supply chain, about 4 businesses in one. And one of the questions that we asked that made us to know that this business had a lot of work to do is, how many people have visited your business this year? How many have visited twice? How many have visited 3 times? We even found out that they could. How many of them do you have the date of birth of the of those individuals? How many of them belong to certain social status? How many of them know not much data? Not much data. When we began to interrogate those questions, we saw that, oh boy, we are not doing well at all. We don't even have all this. How can we not have this data? So into 2025, you're going to scale your business. You've got to have an understanding of your data. Can we read this thing in yellow together? Everybody. 1, 2, 3, go.
What are the most important metrics in your business?
That's a question for you to answer. What are the most important metrics in your business? So the most important metrics in your business, so we won't be able to spend too much time. I'll just move ahead. If you have any questions, you can ask towards the end. Number 3, as we move on, number 3, one of the things that we found out in the course of this year from many of the companies that did very well amongst our clients. And when I said people that did well, I'm not talking about 10% 5%. I'm talking about, like I said, 100%, 200%, and so on. One of the things we found out is that if you will do well in the course of this year, those who have done really well in the course of this year, they understood how to lead growth. And please understand, mark that word, how to lead growth, not how to manage a business. Because how to manage a business is very different from how to lead growth. That's one of the things that I found out in the course of this year. And I'm telling you, I'm being honest with you, I'm a leader. I can comfortably call myself a leader in this country when it comes to helping businesses to grow. But I found out that how to manage a business and how to actually incubate scaling are two different things. And 90% of leaders of businesses actually understand how to manage a business, not how to lead growth.
Yeah.
Growth leadership is very different from managing growth or managing business. So it's the work of operation people to manage growth, to manage, not just manage the business, but to even manage growth is the work of operations people. However, growth leadership is the number one function of the CEO. And managing the business and managing the growth impedes more growth. Managing growth, managing the business prevents more growth from happening. So once you are spending a lot of time in managing the growth, you will prevent more growth from happening. More growth, leadership, growth management is the job function of operations people, operations leader. Meanwhile, leading growth is the number one job of the CEO. And you cannot take people to where you have not been. You can't take people to where you have not been. So when we talk about leading growth, actually it is from inside out, not the other way around. So leaders that are not growing themselves can never help a business to grow. If it ever happens, it will be by accident. And that's why I said there is a science to it. If it ever happens, it will be by accident. Too many things happening together at the same time, favoring the business. In which case, in this climb, we call grace. All right. So if we remove that possibility, the likelihood is almost zero. You cannot grow a business if you are not growing yourself. And growth is inside out, meaning that you are becoming a better version of yourself. That's the only way you can help the business become a better version of the business. And that's the reason why going into 2025, one of the things you must invest in is the quality of your mind. If the quality of your mind remains the same, you will produce the same result in 2025.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The quality of your mind remains at the same level in 2025. It's going to be same, none. Same. If you want to lead growth differently, you must become someone who himself is growing from inside out, consuming a lot of information that is relevant to your business so that you can be at the cutting edge of information in your industry. Getting mentors who can have conversations that opens your eyes, that opens your mind. Speaking to people who know slightly more about business management than you. Those are the things that will help you incubate your growth. They will sharpen your mind so that, like a razor, when you're taking decisions, you are piercing through the problems. The other way around will make your solutions very blunt and ineffectual. Somebody hearing me? Say
Yes,
I hear.
sir.
I hear.
All right. So we've talked about three things, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to recap them for me? I'll come to number 4 and 5.
The first one is right business model. Having a right business model for your business. Second one is data sense. Why the third one is talking about growth leadership.
Leadership. There's business management and growth.
Hello. To go this thing.
I am back. Sorry, it's internet.
Welcome back, sir.
Okay, so I have mentioned about
three
of those things. Who wants to recap for us? Very quickly.
You talked about good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, my name is Egbo Ikechukwu. Yeah, you talked about having the right business model. That's the first one. Then the second one is data sense. Then the third one is having growth leadership.
Do you want to explain one of them?
Yes. I want to explain the first one.
One. Okay, just one. And let somebody else explain the second one, and then we move on.
Okay, I'll explain number one. You're talking about having the right business setup for the kind of business you want to operate. That's the right setup for you to generate income. Having the logic of the business. You have to know the logic of the kind of business you want to be involved or you are going into. Then how to scale it up. That's how you generate your money from the model of the kind of business you want to have. That's my understanding.
Fantastic. The logic of how you generate your revenue is called your business model. How you produce value in a way that captures back revenue. That's what business model is. Yeah. So, aiming to generate money in a way that sits well with value, you're not likely going to be able to scale that business. That business will continue to struggle because the model of the business is wrong. Apply all the marketing in this world, you just get small out. Small. You can't scale a business that the logic of it is wrong. Thank you. One more person, explain one of the last two, and then I move to the third one.
Yes, number 2, Tonia. You talked about data sense. And one of the things that you said, which I know that I, for one, am guilty of, we actually don't take records of our business, the people that have come to patronize us, maybe throughout a year, because right now you have made me to understand that it's good for us to have a database of them in case for their birthday, maybe Thanksgiving, and we can follow up, send them messages, maybe to appreciate them, that kind of a thing. That's one. And again,
let them follow your WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Send them recipes.
Yes. And in case the following year or maybe the following month, you've not heard from them. That's if the business is almost something that somebody require monthly, weekly, or whatever. You can answer them when you send them normal messages and all that. It's like a callback. You can just say maybe seasonal, Merry Christmas, wish you Happy New Year. You're not purposely wishing them. You are trying to put remembrance of you in their mind.
Top of mind.
Yes.
Top of mind.
Yes, nice one.
Top of mind. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So, I mean, I will take for granted that the third one, all of you understand it.
Yes, sir, we know.
I'll take a short break to catch my breath. I'll be back in about 3 minutes.
All right, sir.
Don't go anywhere. You can still invite people who have not joined to join. I'll be talking about the last two in the next 3 minutes when we come back. For those who are not aware already, the discount for Africa Revenue Summit is ending in a couple of days, 2 days actually. And like you all extend the discount if it ends on that day. So don't go anywhere. Rather, help me invite 2-3 people. Invite your friends to say, join this session. It's almost ending. I have just about 20 more minutes and I'll be done. Thank you. We'll be back in exactly 3 minutes time. My name is Bunmi Jembola. For the last 7 years, it's been my privilege to host over 2,000 business executives across Africa, learning strategy, growth, leadership. It's been the biggest convergence of growth leaders and growth seekers, the most ambitious of them. In 2025, over 300 CEOs and business leaders from multiple hundreds of organizations will be converging at the Muson Centre to learn the most important themes of leadership, growth, and strategy at the Africa Revenue Summit. We are going to be having 4 conferences inside Africa Revenue Summit. And those conferences include Retail Africa for FMCG, SaaS Value for SaaS-focused organizations, B2B Growth Conference for B2B organizations, whether in services or products, and even Realty Con for real estate businesses. The theme actually is winning across borders.
From the entrance, it was a different ballgame. Sincerely speaking, I must confess, all the sessions I've attended, I didn't miss anyone. That's true.
That's great.
And I learned a lot.
My key takeaways from this conference is simple. First of all, think about revenue growth. The next is how to enable your sales team.
I think that the leadership matters, the process matters, the strategy matters, how we even engage the whole organization really matters.
Yeah, if I have the opportunity to attend this 101 time, I will definitely do that.
It's every penny worth the investment.
And you can actually see yourself growing your revenue if you follow.
Welcome back. 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 Welcome. Interesting. So, like I said, at the Africa Revenue Summit, we're going to be helping you to achieve real growth in 2025. The promise is 400% growth. How? Number one, ensure that you have a strategy that is very well designed, that is a growth strategy. Number two, we will ensure that you have that strategy broken down into execution milestones, and you actually take the execution milestones very seriously. You execute on it. Number three, we would ensure that you're part of a very strong community of people who want to win like yourself. Number four, we will build your capability to lead growth. Some of the things that we're doing are even precursor to it, even for people who have not paid. Like, for example, here now, I'm opening your mind to some of the things that are required if you want to grow. Just imagine what the kind of value will be for those who are now having the opportunity to have a one-on-one with me. And if you pay between now and the discount end, you get 20% this one-on-one session with me for the growth of your business. And lastly, in addition to the four that I've mentioned, you'll be at Africa Revenue Summit for 2 days, rubbing minds with this gentleman. Inyoluwa has been a part of the growth of two out of seven. There are 7 unicorns on the African continent. 7. Inyoluwa was part of those who built 2 out of it. Andela and Flutterwave. He was CEO of Flutterwave at the beginning, and for Handela, he was one of the co-founders. Dr. John Obaro runs the company that largest volume of transactions anywhere in Nigeria and by extension Africa. System Spec and Flutter and Remitter, processing trillions and trillions of naira. You may not eat too much, and so on and so forth. Femi Ochilaja has helped Airtel to grow and Cassava Technologies dramatically, Odiri Ogini. And of course, my humble self, having led many thousands of organizations, helped many of them to grow in the course of this year. I invite you to a party of growth in 2025. Okay, let's go back to it. So you are interested, just send a message. You know where to send the message. You're on the group. You know the admin. You can send a message to me. You can send a message to any of my team members. We're about 5 or so on that group. So you can send a message to any of us. We will answer you speedily. And you can drop your number on this call. We'll respond to you. That 20% discount expires today. So we are in number what now? Number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, every business that will scale requires a sales and marketing system. Please underline the word system. I did not say they require sales and marketing. I said they require a system of sales and marketing. Anything that is not working in a coordinated manner can never be called a system. Anything that does not understand the beginning from the end and the end from the beginning cannot be called a system. The human body is a system because everything works in a coordinated manner. What many business owners do is sales and marketing. They do marketing, they do sales, but they don't have a sales and marketing system. We cannot talk about sales and marketing system. We cannot exhaust it today. But let me just give you an understanding. If there is no handshake between marketing is how you get word out for people to know, hundreds and hundreds of people to know that you exist. Sales is how you convert the interest to money. Sales is how you engage and close transactions. Marketing is how you get word out. A lot of people to know you. And so when marketing does not align with sales, there is always waste of efforts, waste of resources, waste of income. And it's a lot of work between sales and marketing to align. That's number one thing you must understand. For it to become a system, there must be an intentional alignment. There must be what, everybody? For you to have a system, there must be what?
Intentional alignment.
Intentional alignment between sales and marketing. That's one. Two, for you to say that you have a sales and marketing system, there must again be an intentional measurement of what is happening. So if you spend efforts, if you spend money, if you spend time in marketing, what part of it is yielding into sales? If you are not measuring the metrics, whether it is likes, so whether it is leads, whether it is conversion, whether it is request, you will not be able to know what kind of marketing you should be doing. So any sales and marketing that is not data driven is wasted efforts. That's number two. You cannot make your sales and marketing into a system if you are not intentionally measuring the data from your efforts. That's number two. Number one is alignment. Number two is measuring the data. Number three, you cannot understand how your sales and marketing is working if as a CEO or as an executive, you are not personally involved in the two processes. If you just hire somebody to be doing marketing for you and posting on social media, you know that thing that people do, that they just hire somebody who will be posting regularly on social media for them. My brother, it's waste of effort and waste of money. That's not marketing. We cannot talk enough about marketing. If you want to really sit down and understanding how to generate success by marketing, I think you should register for Africa Revenue Summit. One of the sessions is going to be facilitated by, a marketing guru himself, Demudia, Dima Okojem, marketing director for all of West Africa and MasterCard. You are seeing MasterCard success in Africa, is one of the people leading it. So it's one of the sessions. Because also you need to understand that marketing for small business is different from marketing for big businesses. So if you are CEO of a small business, one of the things you should do is get personally involved. It's you who will understand. It has helped me. You see, I'll tell you something. 7 years ago, 8 years ago, up until 6 years ago, I was personally involved in my marketing and it gave us tremendous results. But as we began to grow small by small, in 2018, that I began to take a backseat from our marketing. I can tell you for free, I'm still paying till today from the traction that I lost. The traction that I lost. Every email that went out in 2017, 2016, 2015, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. Every email that went out, I sent them. Starting from 2018, I stopped sending those emails. There was a marketing person that I hired, I trained, who was not supposed to be sending them. Then I hired a social media person. I tell you for free till today, I'm still suffering the consequences of not staying in touch in marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a CEO, one of your most important jobs is to lead the marketing. Even if you are not the one doing the day-to-day, don't worry. But that's one of the places where you get the best result. You just find out that some of your people are sending the wrong messages out. And that's what is supposed to bring customers. That's what is supposed to help you stay in business. They're sending the wrong messages out. Some of them are doing it the wrong way. Some of them are not even doing it the wrong way, but they're not learning from it because there are no stakes. They don't have a skin in it. Let me stop at that one. Sales and marketing system. If there is one thing you will take, too many CEOs are too involved in managing the business. Leading growth is inside sales and marketing. all of the growth is going to be in sales, marketing, retention, customer relationship management. Those are the core elements of growth. So if you are not involved, how can you lead it? Somebody say, I hear. Lastly, I'll talk about execution plans, designing execution plan, and I'll talk about community. Because of my time, execution planning is having a well-designed execution framework. After you have designed your strategy, many businesses have a strategy, but they don't have execution plan. Execution plan is how exactly are you going to implement your strategy? And don't complicate it. It's a very simple thing. It is putting date, time, and value to what you will accomplish every single month of 2025. That's one of the things I will help you should do. That's one of the things I will help you. You say, in January, these are the things I must accomplish. This is the breakdown. These are the things I must do in December to accomplish them in January. That's what an execution plan is. So just take pen and paper right now. Many of you, even if you don't have a very well thought out strategy, if you have an execution plan and you implement on it, you will still get a better result than someone who has a very well thought out strategy, no plan for execution, and he did not execute it. 100% of the result you are looking for is on the other side of execution. And lastly, everybody that grew their business is 300, 400, 500, 600, 700%, 800, maybe 1,000% in the course of this year. One of the things that they did right is that they had a community to which they were accountable, a community that was as inspired as themselves, a community that was growth seeking like themselves, a community that was also pursuing growth like themselves. Do you belong to, are you part of a system, a group of other entrepreneurs that are driving for growth? Are you part of a team of other winners who are passionate about winning in 2025? Some of you don't know the reason why I did not make the link available. When I saw the effort my people are putting to pushing people to come, and somebody was asking, send us the link to the recording. Thank God, one of my team members gave the person a very good response. Send the link to the recording. And when they now responded to him, he said, it's not fair. Some of us are not available at the time. I said, it's not a problem. The time that you're available, please join. And the reason is because we don't want to force the wrong kind of people. Because I don't even want people who are not as ambitious enough, who just want to attend an event, to come to Africa Revenue Summit. And I'm serious about it because the goal for me is not to have a full conference. That's a good thing. That's my desire. But the goal is a little more than that. Is to have a good conference, peopled by people who will actually achieve 400% growth. So that when we come to this party in 2025, in December, people are actually sharing, when we come to this conversation in December 2025, people are actually sharing the successes that they recorded in 2025. Speaking from here, looking at 2024 and saying, when you were speaking about this, these were my thoughts. And I just said, let me try. So I began to design the processes. I began to design the system. I began to get my customer data. And I said, we're going to work with this. And voila, in the first month, we did this. And here we have 500% growth. That would be my joy in December. That's why I am doing this. Not to fill a conference with people who will pay and disappear into thin air. But if I don't get the right people to come to webinars like this, where I'm actually selling to you the need to take those steps, then what will happen is that they will probably pay and get into the conferences. But guess what? They may not achieve a lot from it. So my desire going into 2025 is that I'm work with people who are as excited as myself about the potentials for 400% growth in 2025. Are you one? Are you one? Do you want to belong to that community of people who are as excited as I am about 2025? Some people are so despondent about 2025. I'm sorry. That's not the kind of people I want to work with, because 2025 is a year of explosive growth. And I'll tell you, those are part of the things I'll do next week. If you care to join, you will see me mentioning 2025 and the character of it. But do you believe in your own ability, not even in government's ability? Do you believe in your own ability to make 2025 a beautiful year for yourself? Do you believe in your own ability to make 2025 the best year of your life since you have ever come to planet Earth? Do you believe in your own ability? I'm not talking about the ability of government to make it a better year for you. I'm talking about your own ability. Your own ability as Tonia Bazwaye. Your own ability as Egbo or as Adeola or Ayobami Ibrahim. Your own ability. Do you believe in your internal ability, not the ability of the government, to make 2025 an exceptional year for you? So 2025 looks great. If you have not done so, prepare for a better year already. Go into it with all your instruments of warfare, including God on your side, including praise, including an excited mind to conquer the year and profit from it, not to lose. And see 2025 blossom right before your eyes. But just as importantly, be a part of our community, of those who pay to gain access to Africa Revenue Summit community, and see how people are pushing and recording multi-billion-era growth in 2025. This is why I pause. I'll just take one or two questions and then we round off. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Any questions?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Please
thank you so very much. I appreciate. I think I've learned so much now. But a quick one, a question. I think that part of the execution, I didn't quite get that. When you talked about to break down, when you have to have a plan, when you have to have a plan, the execution, if I didn't quite get that.
Okay, I'll go over it again. I was just in a rush and I wanted to just get it done by 5 o'clock. So many people have strategy. There is a Siamese twins of strategy. It's called execution plan. Like I've said, it's one of the things I'm doing with whoever pays for Africa Revenue Summits, especially this year. So an execution plan is a plan of action, very simple. A plan of action that breaks the steps that will take you to achieving the 400% growth. What are the steps of action? And they have to be well timed. So for example, the customer, if it will take you two months to convert a customer, and you want the customer to deliver, 100 million naira to you, you must start finding that customer in January, so that by February or March, it would have converted, and then it will start paying you 30 million naira all the way to December. So if you don't find the customer in January, if you find the customer in March, if you don't start finding the customer in January, if you start in March, most likely you'll convert him in April, May, maybe May, ending of May, or early June. That same customer cannot deliver 100 million naira to you. Probably would deliver 70 million naira or 60 million naira, and you have implemented the strategy, but you have not implemented it with an action plan. So because you're supposed to have started since January. So an execution plan is based on what you need to do when you're supposed to do it, what should precede it, what resources you need to do it. Strategy is like the canopy that says this is our vision, this is where we're going, this is the general outlay of how we'll get there. but execution plan is a very detailed breakdown of what we need to do to get there. I don't know if that explains it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes.
All right. Any other one? All right. In the absence of anything, I'll enjoy you to join me 4 p.m. next week when we're going to be dimensioning. By then, I'm hopeful that you've paid so that we can integrate you into the part of the community. The goal is to achieve real growth in 2025, 400% growth. Come along with me as we scratch it. If you pay now, you will enjoy 20% discount. And the account details are on the group. If you're not there, so most likely we're switching from this current group to another group. For those of you on this call, we will share it with you privately. I don't want everybody moving on that group to the other group. No, that's not my goal. I just want the people that are active, like this webinar now. We're not many, we are just about 24. But it was a very engaging webinar because it's the people that wanted to learn that came out. Right. So I look forward to meeting you again next week. Peace.
Thank you. Thank you. Very thoughtful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
I have my brother and my friend on this call, Adeola. Pastor, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well, Coach. Thank you very much. Very, very. I really enjoyed my stay here. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. In case you don't know, that's one of the interpreters of Baba Adeboye. In case you don't know. We have great men on this call. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic afternoon.
God bless you, sir.
The goal for 2025 for Africa Revenue Summit is to help you achieve 400% growth. Now, do we intend to achieve this? Number one, to help you design, very tailored strategies that will help you deliver on the growth that you. Secondly, help create a very detailed execution framework that will certainly deliver on the ambitions of your 400% growth. That's the second thing that we will achieve with you going into 2025. And thirdly, we will integrate you into a community of other winners who are as excited, as ambitious as yourself to achieve 400% growth. And of course, for 2 days, we'll gather at Africa Revenue Summit to learn what are the best-in-class processes for enabling growth for your businesses. Hyper growth, actually. And of course, lastly, after AFRES, we will support you for 2 months. We will not leave you alone, ensuring that you actually do what you have said you would do, ensuring that you actually execute what you have said you would execute. And that's how you will deliver on the growth expectations that you have set for yourself going into 2025. We're very committed to this. We're very excited to help you grow if you let us, right? Africa Revenue Summit is going to be the biggest platform for growth seekers, and it's going to be the biggest enablement for growth in 2025. This is the time to register, as the focus is not on the 2 days of conference, it's on the things that actually happen before, during, and even after the conference. Register now, claim your slot, and let's get started with the strategies to delivering the growth for 2025. Look forward to seeing you. Click on the link right now and register.